Hey everyone, Sarah here from the blog StartSimpleAndStrong.com, where I talk about simple routines for simple living. In today's video, I'm sharing 5 of the best practical tips for a minimalist kitchen. What is a minimalist kitchen? My definition of a minimalist kitchen is everything in the kitchen is used on a regular basis, everything in the kitchen has a home, and it is easy to tidy up at the end of the day. Let me know in the comment section down below, what's your definition of a minimalist kitchen? And I wanted to say that these tips don't only work for minimalist kitchens, but for any kitchen that you would like to have, whether it's a minimalist kitchen or not. With that, let's jump to the 5 best practical tips for a minimalist kitchen. The first practical tip for a minimalist kitchen is to declutter regularly. What I like to do is at the change of a new season, I will go through the kitchen and declutter any items we are no longer using or loving. And while I'm decluttering, I ask myself a few questions. And in fact, I have these questions that I like to ask as I'm decluttering the kitchen here in a free printable. This could be found at bit.ly/kitchen-declutter. And as I'm going through the kitchen, I make a few different choices. The first choice is I decide to keep the item. The second choice is I decide to donate the item. The third choice is to throw the item away if it's broken beyond repair, or it's like, for instance, old food items that we're no longer using. And the fourth thing I do is I will put those items in a time will tell them. Any items that I'm unsure about whether I want to keep them or donate them, but I know I am on the fence about keeping, I will put them in a time will tell them, and then I'll store that time will tell them elsewhere in the house. And on my next decluttering session, I will go back to that, and if there's anything in it that I haven't used within that season, then I will most likely donate it. And that's how I go about decluttering our kitchen. Slowly, methodically, every so often, and it keeps our kitchen in check and at a more minimalist, easy to maintain level. My second best practical tip for a minimalist kitchen is to reduce duplicates. If there's anything in the kitchen that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of and you don't need all of those items, I recommend decluttering them and donating them to someone who can use them. For instance, we at one point had 3 Pyrex casserole dishes, and I never used all of them. I only used one, and that was our 13x9 casserole dish. And I decided to donate the other 2 because I never used them. And that was one way for me to get my kitchen to be a more minimalist or easy to maintain level. So if you have anything like that in your kitchen, go through and donate those duplicates if you don't need them all. Something else that I donated from our kitchen was our spatulas. I had 4 spatulas, and I never used all 4 of them at once. I only used 2 at once. And so I removed the extras, and now we have more space in our cabinets and our drawers for every item to fit in nicely and neatly. My third tip for a minimalist kitchen is to reduce or remove small appliances that you're no longer using. To give you an example, I had a food processor, a blender, and an immersion blender. I never used the food processor because it was difficult to use, it took up a lot of space, and was a pain to clean. And our blender I used once a year during the holidays. And then I used my immersion blender all the time. Well, I didn't have space in our small kitchen for our food processor and our blender, and I removed those from the kitchen. And you will see, if you remove those items from the kitchen, how much easier it is to maintain and have your kitchen be easier to manage without those small appliances taking up space in your cabinets. My fourth tip for a minimalist kitchen is to remove clutter from surfaces. And that will be made easier once you remove those small appliances and duplicates of items from inside your cabinets. And I will say, I have noticed such a big difference in our kitchen. The more our surfaces are clear, the easier it is for me to prep food, the easier it is for me to clean, and visually our kitchen looks tidy. Even if it's still dirty from the kids, it still is a little bit more tidy and easier to manage. And that is something that can be challenging to go about, because, especially if you have a small kitchen, because the items don't all necessarily won't fit in the cabinets. But I really recommend that you try and find solutions and ways to remove that clutter off the counters. In our kitchen, one of the things we did was we put our paper towel roll up on the wall, as well as our pot and pan holders up on the wall, and that help eliminate that surplus clutter. And I would say that I would love for those items to be put in a cabinet. However, our kitchen is very small and we just don't have the space. So be creative about what you can put up on the walls and how you can store your items to help make your kitchen be a little more simple and easier to manage. My fifth and final best practical tip for a minimalist kitchen is to do the dishes every single day, whether you hand wash them or put them in the dishwasher. There's something so wonderful about having clutter-free surfaces and a tidy kitchen when you go to bed that night and waking up in the morning to a clean kitchen. And for me, it definitely changes my mood for the better if our kitchen is tidy and neat and ready for the next day. And that's really has been made a huge improvement in our kitchen. I hope my 5 best practical tips for a minimalist kitchen help you out today. Let me know in the comment section down below. What's your definition of a minimalist kitchen? Thank you so much for stopping by. I love sharing about simple routines for simple living. I'll see you next time.